Hello and welcome to the Primetime Pastimes podcast, the podcast where we talk to people in the wrestling space about their passions outside of wrestling. I'm one of your hosts, Steve, along with our other host, Gav. Say hello, Gav.
Hello.
Our guest today, he's got to go fast. His name's got a real ring to it. See, I'm going too fast already. It's Mr. Steve Dean. How are you today, sir?
I'm fantastic. I'm all the better for that intro, I'll be honest.
Yeah. I got to go fast. I said it. I said it right away. So before we talk about our actual topic, I know I said this on our chat a couple of days ago. We do want to talk a little bit about wrestling. So we're going to have a timer on this for about 10 minutes. And as soon as that timer ends, then we'll move on from the wrestling side of things and we will talk about our topic. But first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into wrestling, what you do in wrestling, and any sort of goals, etc., that you've got this next year.
Okay, so I'm Steve Dean, aka TJ Dean. I am a jack of all trades, master of none. So some would say I do all right. Primarily, I am a referee, but I also wrestle at House Pain Academy in Nottingham. Started wrestling properly, personally, 13 years ago in January. 14 years ago in January. God, time's gone. What is time? But as a fan, I have been a fan since 91, 92-ish. To kind of nutshell the story, way back when my brother came home from school one day with two videos, SummerSlam 89 and Survivor Series 90. And basically, one look at The Undertaker had me hooked. I fell off a little bit around the new generation. I think around the time Mabel won King of the Ring. But then got back in full force during the Attitude Era, and I've been with it ever since. Started training in 2012 at House Pain in Nottingham, and again, never looked back. There was a brief time in the middle there where, as a teenager growing up in the north, there's not a lot of wrestling there, so I kind of took it upon myself and did a bit of backyarding. Not proud of it, but it was what it was. Extreme farmyard wrestling was the place to be.
I grew up in the garden. Did you do it, Steve? Did you do backyard wrestling?
Did I do it?
Yeah.
No, we weren't lucky enough to have EWF near us or whatever it was called. No, and I'm a natural coward as well.
But we used to use, obviously, the old garden fences that were like wire with the green coating on. So we used to bounce.
Yeah, the Austins did that.
Yeah, we used to bounce off that, do clotheslines and things until we ripped a guy's ear off. Well, it was dangling off to about here, and we got told no more wrestling. So
was that Mick Foley?
It could have been.
Oh my lord! Anyway, sorry, Steve.
No,
carry
you're
on.
fine. No, basically, I was very fortunate enough to grow up on a farm. So basically, we dug out some hay bales in one of the barns, and that was basically our self-made ring. And it was me, my brother, a few mates, and then that was that for a few years. Then moved to uni, had a quick scout around, seeing what I could find. Found a dead link to a school in Nottingham, so I was like, okay, never mind then. Then 1PW kind of started up a school for a hot minute in 2007 or 8-ish, I think it was. So I went for a weekend camp there. Didn't really get on with it. And also like the distance traveling because I'd moved to Derby at that point. Since traveling there wasn't going to be like financially viable for me anyway. And then 2012, I found House of Pain, and that was that, and not looked back since. Transition from wrestler into referee a few years in. I say transition. I was kind of doing refereeing to get my eye in, get my foot in the door places, but then I had a back injury 2017-ish, which kind of put me on the shelf, but I could still I couldn't wrestle, but I could still ref. So that's kind of what kind of made me go a bit more full time with that. Then 2022, just coming out of COVID, my back was telling me no more, stop it now. So I stopped and just focused solely on refereeing, and then a bunch of chiropractors and physios and everything later. I was like, and I was just kind of took a few bumps in training. I was like, I could probably do this again. So I spoke to Sticks. I was like, what do you think? Is the door open? And he's like, absolutely, always. We can do something. And we made it work. And then it was literally 2 years ago yesterday. I had my first match back. Yesterday, as we record this, that would have been December 8th. I had my first match back. And what better way to kind of trial by fire than in a tag team street fight? Took my first ever chair shot in that match, which, good God. And then that's kind of been it since. I'm kind of bouncing between the two.
So I've got this right in saying that TJ Dean is completely House of Pain Sticks, and yes. Steve Dean, referee, is everywhere else.
Yes, correct. You are absolutely bob on there.
So what are the other promotions that you do work for?
In the past, I've worked for Megaslam, Elevation in Leicester, Loughborough. I've worked for Future Wrestling. I currently work for Future Wrestling as well. Kumite, Bleeding Gums, but that's currently on hiatus, sadly. So I've kind of become this. I've slotted into this kind of deathmatch referee thing a little bit, which is nice that I'm considered, kind of reliable in that sphere. But I'd still say kind of Scott Bell's the go-to guy there. As much as I want to put myself over, I kind of dumb looked my way into that one. I just happened to know the promoters of Kumite, and
you've got the right person to be learning from, though, with Scott. So
Scott's tremendous.
We all love Scott Bell, wonderful man.
I will say he did deserve that kick. I will say that.
No, definitely not.
Nah.
So, in regards to your aspirations in wrestling, do you get more aspirations from a referee side, or are you thinking more of a wrestler? Like, do you have something that goes through your mind where you're daydreaming about main eventing somewhere, or being involved as a referee in a match with two excellent talents? Where's the balance?
So, the balance is kind of two ways. Like, for me, the goal in wrestling is just to kind of help set the table for newer guys, to get them to kind of understand how it works, which I'm quite privileged to do. But at the same time, I do want to be seen as a main eventer there at House Pain, because I've been there a good long while. I think I know what I'm doing. But there's a couple of changes going on at House Pain at the moment as far as like how the divisions work and everything like that. So I'd kind of like to lead this new division a little bit, but we'll see how that pans out. So that'd be nice. It's always a nice pat on the back with something like that, and I see it as a compliment that I'm seen as like the kind of trustworthy one to throw the new guys in with. I think that's a tremendous compliment. As far as the refereeing, I never want to say it out loud, because if it doesn't happen, then I feel like I've let myself down. There is one particular show I would love to do. And then there's one talent that I'd really love to work with, and I have no earthly idea why. But it's in the deathmatch. I've been very fortunate in deathmatch scene. I've worked with like some greats, like I've worked with Mickey Knuckles. I've worked with and people like that, and obviously the deathmatch outlaws guys over here, Joe and Darko and that lot. So privileged for that. But there is an international talent in the deathmatch scene that I'd love to work with, but we'll see if whenever that pans out. But one day at a time.
And we're not putting that out there. We're just keeping that to ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, I may as well say it because it's a pipe dream, and I know full well that this person is currently kind of locked down into a contract somewhere else. I'm not 100% sure how their contract system works, but I'd love to work with Rina Yamashita. She is absolutely incredible. Like, she's psychotic beyond belief, but there's just an aura about her that I love. And so I'd love to work with her. Like, I will put that one out there, because I know it's never going to happen unless by some insane, like, twist of fate, like say TNT or even Bleeding Gums, if that comes back, or even Kumite. God, please.
Death's coming over, so
well, exactly, yeah. Like, you never know what could happen. But the
moment you never Carnage, know. All women's,
Total Carnage, which is an all women's one coming up.
So, and we have had her at TNT before, so
have we?
Yeah.
Oh, okay then.
Yeah.
There you go, Steve. Have faith in yourself, sir.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. So yeah, they're kind of what I want, what I'd love to kind of manifest to happen. You know, it's on my board. You know, I'm kind of pray to the zebra gods every day. We'll see what happens. Like I never want to, because I know you've got to kind of make noise for yourself and closed mouths don't get fed, but I'd never want to be that person that's bothering a promoter to be like, hey, book me. Yeah, well, I want to do it the right way and turn up and do the right thing.
Wrestling's over.
Yeah,
100% right. That's it. Right, no more talk about wrestling, unless we want to, I suppose.
Yeah, the 10-minute time is gone.
Thank you very much, Steve. That was really, really informative. So that's enough about wrestling. Today's topic is, of course, Sonic the Hedgehog. Me and Steve Dean are both wearing Sonic the Hedgehog Christmas jumpers right now. For those of you in a visual medium,
there you go. Fair, I probably could have got something, but never mind.
You dressed for the sun, Gav. I'm freezing in my home at the moment. My apologies as well if my voice cracks or if I do that silly slur of the words at the beginning. I've not been drinking. I've got a bit of a virus, so I do apologize. But also, don't have a go at me. You know, be cool. So before we do a deep dive into Sonic the Hedgehog, there is a couple of facts that I would like to run through on here, as we always do. So, while Sonic properly debuted in his own game on the Sega Mega Drive / Sega Genesis, if you're an American, in 1991, he first appeared in the arcade racing game Radmobile. You can actually see him hanging in the back of the wing mirror type area. Very, very cute little tidbit there. The name Sonic is actually a shortened version of Super Sonic Speed. That's where they got the name from. Canonically, he is 15 or 16 years old, depending on the version of the game. He famously could not originally swim because the game designers thought that hedgehogs wouldn't swim. So for that reason, that's why he's always running on the bottom of the floor. Michael Jackson wrote a chunk of the score for the original Sonic the Hedgehog 3. He was unhappy with it, so he took his name off it, much like he did in The Simpsons with the whole Batman thing that he did as well. Very, very popular with those with ADHD due to his speed and attitude, with a major fan theory being that he himself has ADHD and he will often stop and stare at you if you don't interact with him. And we all know people like that. So,
yeah, I'm one of them.
yes. We've all got a little touch of that, haven't we, I think? So that's enough facts. Let's explore our feelings. Steve, why have you chosen to talk about Sonic the Hedgehog today? And what's your first experience with the character?
Sonic is a weird little comfort blanket for me. I'm turning 40 in January of 2026, and I still feel like there's the adult in me says let it go, but the child in me says don't you dare let this little part of you go. So and I listen to my inner child more than I should, to be honest. But yeah, I don't know. He's always been a weird little comfort blanket for me, and it's just, if I've had a bad day, if it's been a bad week, a bad month, whatever it may be, I will just stick Sonic Mania on or Sonic Origins or something like that. I will even watch the terrible OVA and I will just beam. I will be a happy little boy again, and I can just relax and everything's good. Everything's right with the world because I've got my little blue friend,
Oh, I'm with you 100%. So you're a little bit younger than me. So what was the first Sonic game that you actually played?
So we were quite fortunate, privileged. I don't know whatever word you want to use. So growing up, I originally had a Spectrum. I was a specky kid first. Dizzy was my first love.
Yes, you just touched our soul there for a second. Thank you very much.
I was explaining to Lauren about Dizzy, and she's like, "I've got no idea. I'm 46, so
there's a connection there because we've got Eggman, and then he was an egg, so there's a tedious connection there as
well. And then we got. Let me get the order right here. We then got an NES, so Mario came into my life, And as much as I enjoyed Mario, it didn't quite hit it for me. And then we got a Master System. And then with Master System 2 with Alex Kidd built in, and we had Sonic. And I was like, this is the guy. This is the one. This is what's been missing from Mario. I needed that speed. I needed a sense of danger. I needed a sense, like a weird little adrenaline rush that I didn't even know I wanted at 5 years old. So, and I think that's why wrestling kind of ticked my box as well, because again, it's this weird little like adrenaline surge going through you. Like Mario felt safe, as weird as that sounds. And then Sonic was everything to me. And then
I found Sega Nintendo was when you were at school. Like obviously you had your mates that hated Sega, your mates that hated Nintendo, and you had to side. You couldn't have both. You had to pick a side.
Not really, because like we all kind of like all my friends, we all kind of checked different boxes for each other. So I was a Sega kid. My one of my mates was the Nintendo kid, and then another one was the PC kid. So he had an Amiga, then he had a PC and everything like that. So whereas like my other mate had the NES. So even though I still had the NES in my house, so I could kind of bounce between a little bit. But then we graduated to the Mega Drive and so on and so forth. I mean, anyone who knows the Master System, Sonic isn't. It's a little rough around the edges, but it still
worked. It worked all right. It worked all right.
Yeah, it's still joyous. Like the special state. Yeah, the aggravation was trying to find the Chaos Emeralds.
Yeah,
because they were hidden in the
Game
levels.
Gear. Was it the same as the Game Gear?
Yeah, it was the same as the Game Gear. Yeah.
So let me interlude there because I've done a lot of research on this. It looks the same, but it actually wasn't the same. Many things were quite different, including most prominently the sprite of Sonic looked a little bit weird on the Game Gear version.
Right.
I'm only really saying this just to prove that I've done research.
Yeah, I mean, I passively experienced the Game Gear version. I'll be honest with you, but then Sonic 2 comes along and suddenly Sonic's got a friend. And then it's like, oh, what's this now? I never finished Sonic 2 on the Master System because there is a level where you have to hang glide. And that level, I am sure, is impossible. I have seen YouTube footage of it completed, and I think that is doctored. I think that has been manufactured. I do not believe that is real. But then that's when the Mega Drive came into our lives as well. My brother had asked for a Super Nintendo for his birthday because he'd seen Street Fighter on like Games Master. So he's like, I want a Super Nintendo. I want to play Street Fighter. But at the time, the Super Nintendo was still very expensive. The Mega Drives had plummeted in price.
Yes.
It was like, however much for the SNES, let's say it was 150 versus 100 for the Mega Drive. You know what I mean? So like, and we got like the bundle pack that has, I want to say it has Sonic 1, but it definitely has Mega Games.
Did it have Altered Beast?
No.
That was the original Mega Drive had Altered Beast, the first release. Then it was Sonic.
That's it, yeah.
It was
That's the one I got.
We had the Mega Drive 2 with the red buttons.
Yeah.
Yes. With as opposed to the white one. Yeah. So with that, the Sonic Team USA had a hell of a job trying to get this sorted because what had originally happened was. Nintendo held like 90% of the market share, so they tried to really push the Sega Mega Drive and Genesis. So they said, right, they're going to take $50 off the price and include Sonic 1, and that's what eventually sort of tipped it in our favor, really, for the Mega Drive.
I got one. It's the only reason I got it.
It was the same with me, yeah, because I had Sonic on the Master System, Sonic 2 on the Master System, and I also had Sonic Chaos on the Master System. Yes, which is the first time I actually played as Tails ever, because you couldn't play as Tails on the original Master System one. But as soon as I got the Mega Drive, incredible stuff.
On the Mega Drive, the 2-player Tails wasn't officially a 2-player, really.
Yeah.
To take over him while the other guy was playing.
That's exactly it, yeah.
Really, it was a weird one.
That's when we kind of so I borrowed Sonic 2 off a friend of mine. That was my exposure to Sonic 2 because my friend in the playground was like, and Tails, you can be Tails. I was like, whoa, like but we didn't know you had to do it in the options screen. We thought it was one of those things where you complete the game and then you can play it as Tails kind of thing.
Okay, right, yeah, unlockable type thing.
So we did the classic I play as Tails for the bonus stages and when we need to reach high points kind of thing, like to get all the star posts and all that gimmick. And we conquered it and we're like, we're still just Sonic and Tails. What's going on? And then we found it in the options menu. It's like, oh, right. Because we were given the cartridge without the manual, so we didn't know. Like, you know what I mean?
To be a real fan, do you remember the unlock code for the very first game on the Mega Drive?
Oh, the first game. Up, down, left, right, A, and start.
Number 1 to unlock all the levels.
Yeah, up, down, left, right, A, and start.
Yep.
You nerds.
I wish I could remember the sound test code for Sonic 2. All I remember is it's the developer's birthday. That's all I remember.
Yeah, I don't think I actually remember unless Steve's done his research.
Steve, where's your research?
No comment. No, I don't know anything about that. I will tell you one little bit more research, though. So we're talking about miles. When did you guys realize that miles per hour was miles per hour?
Pretty much straight
probably
away.
About 2 seconds ago.
I did not.
No, I didn't.
I did not. I had no clue until a few years ago. It was probably around the same time as the film came out. Because candidly, I loved the original Sonic games. I'm actually not a gamer, even though I have the aesthetic of a gamer. I'm not a gamer really, but I was for a few short years when it was Master System, Mega Drive, probably till about 94. I remember Sonic 3. I was sort of coming out of it at that point. I did not play Sonic 3 or Sonic and Knuckles until it was on an emulator years later. I heard all about it, but Sonic 1, Sonic 2, and all the Master System ones, I could not get enough of, to the extent that I could still actually go back on them and play on them now. I just think it's brilliant and simplistic.
You remember it all.
Yeah.
The only PTSD thing I've got with Sonic, if I remember rightly, when I went to secondary school, my mum and dad bought me a Sonic wallet, and I'm thinking I was 13 or 14, and I literally got it and went, you can get beaten up if I use this in school at my age now. Really can't take it. So I took it in and I kind of threw it out the window.
Oh, no.
So have you not always been 7 foot?
No.
I feel like out of all of us, the one person that's more likely to get beat up is Steve's friend who had the PC.
Yeah, probably.
No, I was a bullied kid. Trust me.
Actually, but the friend of mine that had the PC, he was the rich kid. He wasn't getting picked on. No chance.
Oh, was he not?
Also, bear in mind my primary school as well. Total attendance across all years. That was reception through to year 6. And all dinner ladies present, total and teachers. So total attendance was 72.
Wow.
And so we all knew each other. Everyone knew each other's mums. You know what I mean? Like it was like no one's getting beat up, no one's getting bullied or anything like that because we're all pretty much mates there. Like
that's quite sweet, really.
Yeah. Mine was military school, and it was horrible. Military school was so bad. The bullying in military was really horrible.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
You find yourself more sympathetic to Dr. Eggman then, Gav, with his military tendencies.
Definitely.
Boo.
Do you know what? Even to this day, we're like, 25 years on, I still can't get used to calling him Eggman.
No, I don't.
No, it's Robotnik.
Robotnik, no matter what.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't even know he was called Eggman until many, many years later. Like I was going to say, I had a bit of a resurgence in it when the first Sonic film came out, and I was kind of like, I'll dig that out again. Why not? And when they were being called Eggman all the time in the promotional stuff and all the videos I was watching, it's kind of like, no, his name was Dr. Robotnik. Because I even had Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine.
Yeah, yes. Great game.
Love me some Tetris. I'm very simple. I think that's what I liked about Sonic. It was one button, dead simple, pick up and play, huge replayability about it.
Yeah.
And the songs as well. What do you guys think are the melodies behind all this?
So all day today, and maybe it's because I knew I was doing this later on. All day today, I have of all the levels. Like, I love Sonic BGM. I love it, love it, love it, love it. But of all the zones in all the history of Sonic, bear in mind, Sonic and Knuckles is my number one game. And when I first started wrestling, I had the Flying Battery Zone as my entrance music from Sonic and Knuckles, right? I had like a metal remix of it. But of all the zones, I've had the Oil Ocean Zone from Sonic 2 in my head all day. And that is one of the zones I hate the most.
I'm going to need you to hum that into the microphone, please.
No, because now it's flown the coop now because I'm like in this zone. I'm here now.
You're in this zone.
Yeah.
Mine's always still the Emerald Zone from the first game. It's the tune I always remember.
Yeah.
Like, it always reminds me of Superman as well, and bear with me on this because the music for the first Superman with John Williams, it's Superman, and Sonic did the same sort of thing because it was Sonic the Hedgehog without actually saying it, and I just it's been an earworm for like you say 30 odd years now, however long it's been.
Well, I used to go to a place in Manchester that was like TV21, it was called. And they used to they have DJs on and they'd all do mixes of games. So they used to do like Sonic in there, Street Fighter, they'd put all the effects from the games in. And they'd make a full DJ night of like 3-4 hours out of it, which was a bit weird, but it was fun.
That's amazing.
I understand that. It's like you go to NQ, whatever it's called now, and all the other pixel bars and everything. There's a you want that nostalgia and that vibe, and the music of this. For me, it's far more important than the Mario music.
Oh god,
just gets to you.
For me, it's Sonic and then Streets of Rage 2 with the two.
I get
that. Yes,
I get that 100%. I was more of it. Was it Final Fight, the one with Hagar?
Yeah.
I was more of a Final Fight guy, but this is my little pocket of gaming time, just like 1988 to 1993 or something.
I think probably the best game I ever played on the Mega Drive, which not a lot of people remember, was Gunstar Heroes.
I remember that.
That was a hell of a game.
That's a solid choice.
That's probably my number one Mega Drive game that I could go back to and play again and again.
Yeah, I mean, aside from Sonic, it is probably Streets of Rage 2 for me. I think all being told. And I did like Vector Man. I'm one of the few people I know that like Vector Man.
I don't think I've heard of that.
No, I don't think I have actually.
It's a weird little run and gun game. It that had a big old like stop pollution message to it. But yeah, it's kind of imagine like if Wall-E was sent to Earth with a gun.
Right.
I always imagine that.
It's just basically it's kind of like how Wall-E was like is there to kind of clean up after us once we've all left Earth. It's a similar thing, like all the humans have left Earth, but now this robot is going around cleaning up everyone that's still polluting the Earth, kind of thing, by shooting them.
I'm going to Google the hell out of that later. Other search engines.
One of my mates had a Neo Geo.
Ooh.
Yes.
And had 2
Rich
games because they were that expensive. But on that one, we will take a short break.
Thank you. Welcome back. So one thing I'd like to just talk about real quick, in case you guys aren't aware of this or want to talk about it, is the origins of the character. Either of you guys know where the character came from, very briefly?
It was a contest amongst the Sega staff. They wanted a mascot to rival Mario, and the original drawing was what wound up being Robotnik, if I remember rightly. And then they kind of had this rabbit kind of thing, and then that kind of morphed into Sonic over time, if I remember, over a few drafts.
Yeah, so the rabbit won the competition. They had the Robotnik character sort of in the back. They were going to try and make that into a completely separate IP. They had a drawing of a hedgehog, and they basically decided to combine the two. There was some provisional designs ready for another game about two twins that sort of saved the planet, like Planet-y style, and they all sort of like morphed together into the original Japanese version of Sonic the Hedgehog. They really, really wanted to make it more American, which is first and foremost why it's red, white, and blue. It's blue for the Sega logo. The shoes are taken from the Michael Jackson Bad album, but they're coloured red like Santa Claus, which is inherently American as far as they were concerned. And the sassiness and everything else, and the fact that he eats chili dogs are all attempts to make him the sort of prototypical American little speedster as we know and love. I think the character design again is so good and simple, really. I mean, every game I've ever seen him in.
As a kid, I used to draw. Well, we all did. We used to do versions of him as like RoboCop, Terminator, Sonic. It's just something we all did. It was just easy.
Yeah,
and
I mean, like, geez, if you've ever, so I mean, this kind of weirdly neatly brings me on to like something I was going to bring up, or was hopefully going to come up at some point, was the British Sonic the comic.
Yeah.
And they loved printing pictures of Sonic in a football kit, Sonic as a Terminator, Sonic, just kids' drawings, and it's just, we all definitely had a go at it at some point.
But with graffiti, etc., like I don't know about you, but you went to a market town and saw all these fake versions of toys. It was always Sonic. It was always Bart Simpson, and it was always Ninja Turtles. It was those three in different guises, all the bootleg and counterfeit stuff. Really impactful. Did you own any bootleg gear?
No, I'll probably actually. It wouldn't shock me as a kid if my mum just kind of picked up a Sonic shirt from a market store. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, no, 100%.
I don't what about clothes? But
I'm really intrigued about this comic.
The comic, it was like
we're going to get back to the comic. Sonic the comic.
Sonic the comic. So sorry, I buzz every. So at the moment, I am sorry to plug another podcast. Sonic the comic.
Feel free.
Sonic the Comic, the podcast. If you want a window back into the 90s, oh my word. But they go through issue by issue, page by page, right from the start, right through to when they basically were all just doing only reprints because like Fleetway, who published it, where basically the budget was all gone. So they just kind of reprinted it until it died a death.
I think I got it in Toys R Us when I bought issues. I'm sure I got them in Toys R Us.
Probably. I was.
What's the other one? Werebears and Sonic comic was the two
I remember the Werebears.
Yeah. I was layaway with my local news agents. It was there for me every other Friday, I should say, because it was a fortnightly comic. The Sonic comic was amazing. Because don't get it twisted, right? There's the English comic, and then there's the wrong comic, which is the American one.
Yeah.
The Archie stuff, and we're not going to get into Ken Penders because I don't want to get sued. But the English comic followed the games as best as they could. They came up with a lot of like OCs and everything like that, but whenever they could follow a game arc, they would follow it. And couple of main writers like Nigel Kitching and Nigel Dobbin, and I forget the names of the other guys right now off the top of my head. They would play the games, and then they were like, right, how can I make this a story? And they would do it, and they were it's just wonderful. I've kind of fell off it because I was at an age where I was like, oh, maybe I should be more into football kind of thing, and that kind of thing. But like, I am currently on Vinted right now, watching a few of like the kind of milestone issues on there, and like there's even like Ladybird books and things like that, which I'm kind of got my eye on as well. Like, but I mean, one of my prized possessions, if I may quickly show the team, is the 30th anniversary.
I was trying to get it in there. Yeah,
it's a 30th anniversary book of the IDW stuff. The IDW stuff is actually really good because it's a nice blend of the Archie stuff and the British stuff,
right?
And they do it justice, and the characters feel true to themselves, if that makes sense. But the other beauty of the British side of the comic is that for a while they were allowed to just do the Sega Superstars as well. So there was strips on Echo the Dolphin, there was Streets of Rage, there was Shinobi, there was and then they were deemed too violent.
Echo the Dolphin.
No, Shinobi and Streets of Rage. They were showing blood in a kid's comic,
Fair. Yeah.
People being shot and explosions and swords and everything like that. It didn't really fly.
So they weren't writing them for kids at that point, though, were they?
No. And I mean, this was Fleetway, which were also responsible for 2000 AD. So it was. Yeah. So they had Judge Dredd in the back pocket, So they were kind of used to doing it. But the close they got was they did stories on Decap Attack as well. And that was just them stealing as much material from Monty Python and Bottom and things like that, as much as they could get away with within, a kind of remit,
Yeah.
And they were just so silly and so wonderful, but there was clearly nudges and winks to the adults who might be reading over the kid's shoulder,
Yeah.
It was quite graphic, some of the stuff that was in Sonic's Origin and the cancelled Sonic Extreme game. I can't remember the exact name of the character, but one of the characters was called Boobowski. And obviously, I don't know if you're aware of this, but originally when they were putting Sonic together, he had a girlfriend called Madonna, which was quite risque, reminded me very much of Who Framed Roger Rabbit style version of Madonna. So I think originally, they did sort of want to skew a little bit more adult.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't shock me at all. But you said at the start about the Michael Jackson involvement, and that's very much, it depends who you ask. That's why I kind of put my finger to my lips, because it depends who you ask. So Michael Jackson will say he stepped away from the project because he didn't like how it sounded and everything like that. However, if you speak to Sega, they will tell you they distanced themselves from Michael Jackson because of the initial,
the right era sort of,
the first kind of accusations,
allegations, yes,
allegations. That's what I was looking for. Thank you.
Either way. I mean, it's very, very bad, and to sort of get facts out of some of this stuff. When I was doing my research, like a simple question, which I thought would be dead easy, was how many games has Sonic been in? I could not get a straight answer out of that.
No.
It's upwards of 120. Many people say the core games are 40, but it all depends on spin-offs.
40 core games, Jesus.
40 core games with Sonic as a protagonist, but you've got to consider all the remasters. And like I said, the Game Gear version had a slightly different sprite, so does that count as a different version? Oh, it was a nightmare. That was a fun Sunday evening.
To be fair, Aaron's probably gone through a few games, so there is stuff I've forgotten. He's buying new ones now or wants them. So...
And I think early on, especially when they saw how popular it was, I think they did kind of, you know how like these days we talk about kind of franchise fatigue, Assassin's, the yearly Assassin's Creed games, the yearly FIFA games, the yearly whatevers, and everything like that. Sonic was worse. was so much worse for that.
Oh, they did like all the Sonic sort of Olympic Games stuff and everything, didn't they? Like, yeah.
But I mean, even
the original.
Yeah, because I mean, you had like Sonic 1 on 2 different systems, Sonic 2 on 2 different systems. Then they had
Sonic Chaos.
Because Sonic 3 wasn't ready, so you got Sonic Chaos and Sonic Spinball, and you got Sonic Triple Trouble. There were 2 kart games on the Game Gear. Then you had Sonic 3. Then you had Sonic and Knuckles later that year because it wasn't ready. And
I'm going to say they were supposed to be the same game initially, weren't they?
Yeah, but it didn't fit on one cartridge, and they ran out of time, and so on and so forth. And it just went on and on and on. Mean Bean Machine is a spin-off, and whatever. So they completely flooded that market.
They really, really did, and to the point where I was a bit tired of it. And like I say, I only had a very, very small window of 4 or 5 games, and I was tired of it by Sonic 3. But I'll always go back to the originals. Going back to the Sonic comic, obviously I know that they took a lot of, because I don't know much about this. I know they took a lot of the stories or a lot of the characters and made stories. Did they ever go the opposite way? Did they ever have characters that were in Sonic comic that migrated over to being playable characters in the games that you know of?
No, there's nods to it in Sonic Mania. There's nods to a couple of guys in Sonic Mania, like there's because that was like developed by I want to say it was a British kid. Right. So he had kind of like knowledge of Sonic. He had knowledge of Sonic the comic and kind of brought some stuff over, and just little nods and winks. So there's a character called now it depends. I can't remember which version is which. So there's Fang the Sniper, I believe.
Right.
Was in.
He's got fangs. Why is he a sniper?
Because he's a weasel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he was in Triple Trouble, I think. Right. And I want to say he might have been in Chaotix on the 32X, which no one played. But I think he's in Sonic the Fighters as well.
Okay.
Which again just shows how flooded the market was with Sonic games. But in the comic he was called Knack the Weasel, and I think he's referenced as Knack in Mania. I think I could be wrong on that, so it's not really the same, but like there's a couple of like nudges and winks to things, but like no one's ever really come over like that. There was a big favorite in the comic which was Techno the Canary, and
already my favorite character.
Yeah, she was like a scientist, and like her and Amy had like adventures together and things like that. So I think there's like she was one that they always wanted to kind of get involved in the game. So it wouldn't shock me if she's kind of hiding in the background somewhere. And there was also a Short Fuse. Right. Was like it was he was a kind of parody of Iron Man.
Okay.
So that Short Fuse was a squirrel that would turn into a badnik, but then kind of overrided the programming, and so still had like the armor and everything like that, but could think for themselves, and
he rings
and kind of became a superhero and all that kind of thing.
Well, I love the fact that you just threw out the term badnik, like it was something everybody knew. I did know only because I did research. I did not know that's what they were called previously. Just explain to the kids that are listening to this what a badnik is.
So badniks are all little enemies that you come across which have little animals inside them, which basically power them. So the lore behind that is that all the animals from the Green Hill Zone or Emerald Hill Zone, pick a zone, are put into these robot bodies and used as a living battery to power them.
That is something we've not seen in the films as well. So I did think to myself, I wonder if any of the modern Sonic fans would even know that. Because I knew what they were, didn't know there was a term for it. Another character I wasn't really aware of until obviously looking into this was Amy Rose. I knew he had a girlfriend, but I didn't know the name.
Again, depends which version of you read into. So Amy was introduced in Sonic CD, and she was kind of supposed to be the love interest, but because Sonic's too cool for that kind of thing, he doesn't need a girl kind of thing. But she was like obsessed with him. and they played up to that in the British comics a lot until they kind of went actually because a female editor came on board and she basically said, I don't like this. And this was like coming into the time of Spice Girls and girl power and all that kind of good stuff. So she wanted Amy to kind of stand up for herself a bit. And so suddenly Amy's got a crossbow and is an absolute badass and is like the funniest character in the whole book. Like,
really?
Yeah, she is incredible. Like, so like when she gets her own strip with Techno, like some of the stuff they come out with is hilarious. Like it's just like she's just got like little like under her breath kind of quips to kind of put people down and things like that. It's just magic.
And we haven't seen her in the films yet, have we?
No,
I know you've not seen Sonic 3 yet, have you?
No, I've seen the post-credit scene though where she's teased. I believe.
Okay. I didn't even. I know. Spoilers for Sonic 3. I know that it's one of the Mecha Sonics. Well, multiple Mecha Sonics at the end, but that's about it. Like I say, I fell off at number 3, so of the game. So a lot of this makes no sort of sense to me, really.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Sonic 3 and Knuckles are like my favorite games by far and away. I've still not seen Sonic 3 movie, sadly. It's one of those things where I'll get to it. Like. See what Santa brings me. I might go out and buy the trilogy Blu-ray. Don't know, but because I think
I've seen the third one because he's crazy on Shadow. Absolutely loves that character. So
Keanu Reeves in it.
Yeah,
I was going to ask you about this. Well, yeah, I mean, what about the supporting characters? When did you sort of fall off with all the spin-offs? Because obviously we had a Shadow the Hedgehog spin-offs about Knuckles. Where did you sort of fall off?
I dropped off after the 16-bit era. So, like when PlayStations came into the world and, became a fallen into the world. And I missed the Dreamcast. I wish I'd got one. But at the same time, it was poorly supported, poorly thought out and everything like that. But I think it was still very much ahead of its time. And,
it was the first internet-based console, wasn't it? I think. Yeah.
But yeah, I'd have loved to have been present for the birth of Sonic Adventure kind of thing, But I didn't play it until much later. I think probably the GameCube remasters. But yeah, so that's kind of when I fell off Sonic a little bit. I'd look at Sonic Heroes. Like I'm not a big fan of the 3D games. No. Because I think they tried pad it out too much and like some of them are a bit of a slog. Colors was good. I enjoyed Colors. But like what was the Werehog one? Sonic Unleashed.
Oh yeah.
That was
Sonic Unleashed,
that was a slog.
Well, that was one of the two that I tried because I tried that and I tried Shadow. And I just didn't like either of them.
No. I don't like Shadow as a character. I mean, I was also one of the fools who played Sonic 06. Tried to fool myself that it was going to be good, and we've all seen it. It's a horrible, broken mess. But it's like Silver. I don't like Silver. Like the supporting cast. Like I've always joked with the wife that Knuckles is my hidden son. Like I love Knuckles to pieces. Like I don't know why. I just immediately gravitated to him. Like because I think he was what especially like when I saw him like brought to life in the comics and things like that, and I kind of projected a personality into the game onto him and everything like that. He was like very aloof and just kind of like, yeah, whatever. And he was a bit of a brawler, a bit of a fighter and all that kind of thing. I was like, yeah, that's my dude kind of thing. How
did you feel when Ugandan Knuckles came into it? I just want to get that out there.
I don't even know what that was about. Someone just showed me.
No, neither do I.
What is this? Like, and it just became a thing. I was like, yeah, it's funny, I guess. But as the world of memes do, it moved on and like,
yeah.
Some of us didn't move on. It's still
Echidna rather than Knuckles. He always calls him Echidna.
Yeah,
that's his.
Is that the type of animal he is?
Yeah, he's an echidna apparently.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what that is. I'm not going to lie to you.
It's a bizarre thing that shouldn't exist. It's
Same.
Much like a duck-billed platypus in that, like,
yeah,
it's just this very kind of cobbled together animal, made with spare parts.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And I'm genuinely amazed there hasn't been a Duckbill Platypus character in Sonic. There's been everything else.
Put it out there in the world. It'll happen. Put it out there. So we've talked about some of the supporting characters. I know that you're a big fan of the questions, who is on your Mount Rushmore. So let's talk, everyone except for Sonic and Tails, who is on your Mount Rushmore of supporting characters?
The answer to all four is Knuckles. No,
you cannot pick Knuckles 4 times. You can get one Ugandan, one regular.
Knuckles.
Yeah,
and I'm going to really muddy the water in a minute. Knuckles, Amy, Mecha Sonic. There is a difference, and Robotnik. Like,
sure.
So, again,
so what's the difference?
Okay, so Sonic 2 is commonly known as Silver Sonic or just Mark 1, the one that you fight for Robotnik and Death Egg. Then in Sonic 3, you get, Sonic CD, you get Metal Sonic, or as he was called over here for some reason, Metallics, and I love that name for him. Then in Sonic and Knuckles, you if you play through the Knuckles campaign, you're against Mecha Sonic, which just has that. He's a lot taller, and like the quills and everything. He's got like the jetpack on the back and stuff like that, and he's just so cool. It's just such a cool look. And then we kind of got stuck with. I still like the design. Like the Metal Sonic that we know now is the one that's kind of hung over from Sonic CD. Because that kind of, I think overall that's the better, more practical look for him. But I've just
cares about practicality.
I just thought Mecha in Sonic and Knuckles looks so much cooler. Like I drew the hell out of that character like as a kid.
Oh, I bet. Well, it's like with comic books, isn't it? How do you make a comic book character cooler? Give him a metal arm. What's better than a metal arm?
Yeah,
entire metal.
Pouches and metal arm. There you go.
And the one character I wish had made it into the games, again, British comic, they made it, Robotnik made a metal Knuckles.
Okay.
And it, again, just looks so cool. It's so cool. But sadly never became a thing.
There's still time because they're still making these games.
Oh, yeah.
And movies.
And movies. Yeah, and movies. So... obviously, we've talked a little bit about Sonic. What makes Sonic better than Mario, as far as you're concerned?
I don't know. Mario feels too safe.
Okay.
I feel like don't get me wrong, I love Mario Odyssey. Mario Odyssey got me through lockdown. But it feels like I'm being handheld. There's no real punishment for failing, because and that's good. Like, it's good. It wants you to experience the game. Sonic always makes me feel like I can do better, and to learn from my mistakes and be like, and don't make the same mistake twice. You learn where the pitfalls are. You learn how to beat the end of level bosses. You figure out the patterns and everything like that. And I think it probably just massages a nice little part of my brain that needs that. I don't know, but yes, but like I mean, again, Sonic and Knuckles, for instance, like when I figured out in Sonic and Knuckles, when I figured out I could outsmart one of the end of level bosses at the start of Sandopolis Zone, when I figured out I could outsmart that guy, I felt like the smartest person in the world. Like, because
the thing I like with it as well, you can play it in different ways. You can either play it as you can, or play it to get all the power-ups or all the items. You can play it like 3 or 4 different ways every time.
Yeah.
That's why I liked it.
Yeah. Like,
I get that. It's very visual too.
Yeah. And yeah, it's just I feel like the color palette's nicer. I know the Nintendo could use sprites better, especially on the Super Nintendo, but like, I don't know, there was just something about the colors. Like, it was very primary. It was like blue good, red bad. Nice bit of splash of orange and pink and everything like that. It just felt comforting. I don't know. Like,
it's funny you mention the colors. Are you aware that the Super Nintendo had something like 500? Sorry, like 2,000 different colors, but Mega Drive only had 500. But it was the way that Mega Drive sort of used them, and the Game Expo, that was a big sort of selling point for the Mega Drive of how vibrant it looked, doing more with less. I don't know if you're too young to remember this, but do you remember the because I did see this in magazines, but I never saw an advert until years later. The Genesis can what Genesis does what Nintendo don't.
Yeah,
Where they did advertising campaigns with Mario saying how they can't compete with Sonic on there.
Yeah.
Very Ron Jeremy looking guy.
Yeah. Oh God, I do remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But and I mean, like, and I think as well, I think a big helping hand as far as like Mario never had a good TV show as well, because I was very much TV orientated as a kid. Yeah, I'm not saying I was raised by the TV. You know, I went outside, I played. You know, whatever. You know, I used my imagination a lot. I wrote a lot of crazy stories as a kid. You know what I mean? Like, but like, Mario never had a good TV show. Like, we had the one with Captain Lou Albano, and like the whatever it was, the Super Mario World cartoon. But like, Sonic had one cartoon and then one really good cartoon. And I don't, and Sonic fans will hate me for saying this. I like Sat AM. I like Sat AM or Sonic ABC, whatever you want to, whichever one you want to call it. The one with Sat, it's a lot more geared towards the Archie comics, but it's the one with like Sally Acorn and like Robotnik's looks different and
more anime.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
I like that one. Not Sonic Underground can get in the bin. Well, like, why is he in a band? Why is he a prince? What's going on here? Anyway, Sonic X,
edgy.
Yeah, Sonic X is fine. Sonic Boom is hilarious.
That's what I remember.
I don't think I'm aware of that one.
Sonic Boom, so there was the terrible Sonic Boom game, which was a horrible, buggy, broken mess, even worse than Sonic 06, and that's saying something. And it had a big campaign. There was, the Sonic Boom game was being released on all platforms. Then on the 3DS was a Sonic Boom side game. They kind of went for it the same way they did with like Sonic 2, Sonic 3. They went all in, and they had a CGI TV series as well. And because everyone completely dismissed the games, I don't know if the TV show came out around the same time or it came along a bit later. I want to believe it came along a bit later because the scripts and everything like that feel very much like, we know no one's going to watch this, so let's just have some fun.
Around that time, though, there was a whole thing of cartoons made express for the purpose of selling the games. So the quality levels weren't always there. We had that with a lot of things, didn't we?
Yeah.
So any hot takes or controversial opinions about Sonic, the expanded universe, the games, anything?
Again, Sat AM is good. Sat AM is good. Sonic Boom, the TV series, is good. Sonic Prime is good. Very good. On Netflix. That Netflix series is very good. But yeah, and the OVA, it's a hard watch. It's a hard watch, but it is, again, unintentionally hilarious. But the seeds of, if it had been made on a better budget and come along a couple of years later under a different studio, something like that, it probably would have been a lot better than it was. I don't really have hot takes other than Sat AM is good.
It feels like a hot take based on on how you're presenting that.
And the thing is, I think it's an American British divide as far as like the Archie comics.
Mm-hmm.
Like they will do their best to defend it, but they know it's wrong. In their hearts, they know it's wrong. And then the Ken Penders stuff with Knuckles and stuff like that is just then you get the whole lawsuit and things like that, and it just becomes a complete fire. But
let's talk about something more positive, because I did ask you to get your merch in. tell me about your prized possession with your merch. Tell me about what's on your Christmas tree right now.
On my Christmas tree, I have my three sons. I've got Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles on my Christmas tree. Haley got me them. Haley, my wife, she got me them as a present last year for Christmas. They're like the Hallmark collector's editions or whatever they are. And that they have pride of place on my tree right now with all my gingerbread wrestlers and Bruce Willis, the true savior of Christmas.
Yes, absolutely.
But I also have this lovely little statue here. This lovely little boy.
Oh wow, that's very not lifelike, but very very emotive.
Yeah, he's a bit of a bugger because he's got two stalks in the base and they don't fit in the holes properly. So he's a bit wobbly, but I kind of like him for that reason. I've got the amiibo. I've got 4 amiibos, 4 or 5. They are Zelda.
I think there's a cream for that. Explain to me what an amiibo is.
So they were like Nintendo things.
They were a bit like Disney Infinity, weren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, right.
And like the Spyro Skylanders and all that.
Yeah.
Kind of NFC kind of things that did things to your game and everything like that. And they and I've only got a small handful. I've got like 4 or 5 of them. And they are Zelda characters and Sonic. That's it. Like that. But yeah, and then obviously as I showed him a little Sonic 30th anniversary IDW comic compendium thing. I think they've redrawn actually one of the old like British STC kind of bits in there, which is really nice. So yeah,
have you opened it up or is it just for display?
Yeah, I read it. I got it a couple of Christmases ago, and I went upstairs and just read it.
took some Steve time.
Yeah, I don't know, like, because I don't know. I felt, honest to God, when I unwrapped that and shout out to my mate Stevie for getting me that. Like, I just made me feel like a child. I was like, I need to go read this now, and I did.
And is it a gift that keeps on giving? Have you gone back to it?
Oh yeah. Like, I don't read a lot anymore, which is sad, because I've got a lot of books sat on my shelf that I really want to read, like both graphic novels and actual prose. And like I've got a Batman right here next to me that is still in its plastic, like, and which is a story I actually really want to read. You know, it's the Death in the Family one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I really want to read that, and I've got like a bunch of Ninja Turtles ones that I really want to read, and I've got, you know, like wrestler autobiographies, and I've got like, you know, actual physical books. You know, I've got like the Richard Osman books to read. You know, but I don't know. I just don't read anymore for some reason.
I'm purely audiobook for that same reason. I've no time.
Yeah.
And especially when you're a referee and a wrestler, and you know, there's so much going on.
Yeah.
You're
in the gym, you're training, whatever it may be. Yeah.
Exactly that.
Like, yeah, I think the only physical book I've read, which is actually in touching distance in the last year, is the WWE rule book.
Okay.
Which I just read for a bit of silly research. It's complete kayfabe. It's lies. With some sprinkles of truth, but
yes,
yeah, like
is it this one?
Yeah.
That's the jam. That's the one. That is the one.
I own that. Yeah,
I got it for £2 off Amazon.
Yeah,
but yeah, like I think that's the only physical book I've read in a couple of years. But yeah, and I've got like Zelda graphic novels to read. Like the only, like that Sonic one. Yeah, it's just if I just need a bit of joy, it's either stick a game on or just like read one of the strips in here.
Yeah,
and I'm happy. I'm good. Like,
good. Well, it's been wonderful talking to you, Steve. I think it's time to probably wrap it up.
Yes.
Where can we find you on social media?
So you can find me on Instagram, mostly is where I'm most active. I am at Steve Dean Refs for all my referee stuff, and I'm at TJ Dean Wrestles for all my wrestling stuff. The wrestling stuff's growing. I'm just starting to put stuff in there because it was sat there kind of empty because I basically split my personality in half because I felt like promoters were getting a bit confused as to what I was actually doing because all my stuff was going on my referee page. So I've split.
Well, we've talked about this a little bit as well, haven't we?
Yeah. So I kind of split in half, and now I'm starting to kind of populate the wall of my TJ Dean Wrestles page a bit more now. So content will be going up. And if you like Joshi Japanese women's wrestling as well, Steve Dean refs, because I just share stuff all the time because I love that stuff. That's like my kind of happy place in wrestling. But yeah, that's mostly where you can find me. And I've Steve Dean Pro Wrestling Referee on Facebook as well, but I cross promote whatever I post on Facebook goes on Instagram as well. So yeah.
Great stuff. Well, thank you very much, and thank you all for joining us. Again, if anyone wants to talk about anything of their passions outside of wrestling, please feel free to message us or talk the line, and we'll be happy to hear from you. I can't believe my voice is still going. Thank you, and goodbye.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Take
See
care.
you later.